How's it going, everyone? My name is Pengu, and welcome back to Spin to Podium, a weekly series where I'll use a wheel to determine my car and type of racing, and then head online into Forza Horizon 6 to try and get onto a podium in 3 races. Last episode, we got given the Pugo 207 Super, which was a fantastic little rally car, and it was able to do just enough to get us onto the podium for the first time in the series, moving our record to 1-1. Moving into this episode 3 here, I'm hoping that we can carry our momentum forward and get another podium and move to 2-1 and finally have a winning record. Over here on our wheel, I'm just going to go ahead and jump straight into the spin. And I'm just kind of hoping for something a little bit quicker. We've got a lot of B and A class. Not going to get my wish today, as we're going to get B class road. All right, I'm just going to go ahead, randomize here. And we're going to get the 1970 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1. And this is a fantastic little road car, and I'm super excited to jump in and build this thing. Over here in Forza Horizon 6, gonna be bouncing over to Chevrolet, and there is going to be our ZR1. I'm gonna buy a brand new one. I do already have one in my garage, but I think for the sake of this, I will just buy a new one. Go with this paint job. Nice little, like, kind of retro vibe to the paint job. We're gonna have to build this into B class. So, I'm trying to think. I don't really know if this car has any kind of customization or not that can, like, really take advantage of. We're going to start over here. Engine swaps. Do have a couple V8s. We even have a V10 in here. And I mean, I just think we're going to need as much power as we can possibly get while still maintaining a decent level of grip. You know, I don't think these tires are going to be ended up being upgraded into anything too crazy, but I think we are going to need power ultimately over anything. So I will chuck that on. Well, I am actually going to drop down to the we're going to drop down to the 5.5 liter V8, as I do want all-wheel drive. We're not going to twin turbocharge it. Toss on front arrow, toss on rear arrow. Can shed a little bit of weight with the removal of the bumper. I do think that looks pretty good. Can get a huge blower up front, but I don't know. Is losing 6 pounds worth a single PI point? We're going to come over here to our tires and rims, and it looks like even putting on off-road tires is going to have some issues. Could do vintage white walls. Could do drag tires. I mean, I'm not going to do drag tires. The car would just be undrivable. I think what we're going to have to do here is downgrade the engine yet again. I just don't think we have the PI room to actually use that big engine. We're still not going to get down there in terms of PI, even with these. What if we go down to the 6.2 liter? Let's go down to this. In this scenario, we could go sport tires. And I think I will. Even though I know that the off-road race tires will be faster, I just think I gotta go, you know, for the spirit of the challenge a little bit here with the sport tires. We go ahead and see if we can get some slightly lighter rims. Not necessarily looking for looks. Although these ADV ones do look pretty good. Although I'm sure someone in the comments will be like, you can't put ADV ones on a Corvette, that just isn't right. Well, you know, it's my video, buddy. So, I think I'm going to go with these star ones. Leave the rest of that there, because we do need to make sure we can get the rest of our PI budget in here. Toss on a race differential. We can do full brakes. We can lower it, get our roll bars on. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do weight reduction or put on a roll cage. But we are going to be able to do that. Let's see. Any amount will take us over. And I can't lie, I kind of prefer the way it looks like this. So that is going to be where we sit. We'll be a little bit heavier, about 100 pounds heavier. We're going to pick up around 100 horsepower, and we're going to pick up a lot of grip. So I'm going to jump in, do a quick tune for this thing, and then I'll get you guys straight into these races. Here we are with race 1. We're going to have a sprint race here. We're going to have a pretty full lobby. I'm not seeing anything that's going to be too broken, but we are going to definitely have to fight for it here, although we are starting here in 3rd. So let's see if we can hold it. We're going to get a great jump. I have to imagine this Acura in front of me is rear-wheel drive based on that. Or he's stock front-wheel drive. You never know. I'm going to get absolutely torched by, I don't even know what that was. We're going to be chilling here in 3rd after a little bit of the race through, but we are getting caught by what seems to be everyone. First place is going to get a slowdown, and we are going to be chilling in 1st, although we're going to quickly lose that to this car that I can't quite tell what it is, as it is ghosted inside of me. It's going to be the Prius, the brand new Car Pass car for the week. And a Nissan POW is on the outside of me, making my life a little difficult there. Oh my god, that Prius is fast. It was as if I was standing still. And he is long gone. Alrighty then. Well, that definitely complicates this a little bit, because now I am going to have to be chasing this POW down to try and sneak my way onto a podium here, because those Priuses are just long gone. The POW runs deep, hits a wall, and I'm just down on power. The issue that I knew would come up comes up here as we are down on horsepower. So much so that we just lose out on these straights here so much. Obviously, with this being a sprint race, you know, it is going to be more straights than not. But this car is definitely built for the corners, and not really getting a lot of corners here is costing us. Although we're going to have one last shot here at the POW, but he also takes the shortcut. We're going to come across the line there in 4th. Alright, race 2 here, hoping for some more corners. Kind of going to be out of luck. We are going to have a little bit more people in the lobby. A decent mix of cars here, although there's still the 2 Prius, and that's just going to be quite annoying for us, as we do get a good jump off the line being all-wheel drive. But just the lack of corners on this circuit is going to be really problematic for us. Although as it stands, we are competing for 3rd here. We're actually going to get a worse exit than the Yaris. Just going to keep us stuck in 4th. I'm going to brake so late, and I'm going to get a slowdown there. And I think that might just cook us on this race, unless there's some catastrophic failures up front. Some pretty piss-poor driving here, I think, is going to cost us, and have to force a race 3 to try and get our podium for this one. And I can hear the Prius behind me. That screeching engine. The Acura is going to run deep, get a slowdown, but that still only puts us up into 6th. And there goes the Prius. He's long gone. So despite the Acura running deep, we are still going to be sitting here in 7th. Although we get a good move here on the Prius. Going up the inside of the Terreno. I run deep because I just don't have the cornering, and I get a slow down right there. Although Prius does give me a little shove. Definitely didn't want to, but my car was kind of placed there. And yeah, I'm definitely noticing a severe lack of power here, that this car just simply cannot keep up. I mean, I mentioned it in the first race, and coming into race 2 here, we're going to have a similar problem. As these sprint races, we just don't have any kind of speed to really carry us. And we're not even that great in the corners, all things considered. So we're kind of just... Jack of all trades is not really even close to being a master of any. We're going to get past the Toyota, but we got to make up 4 spots here, and I just don't see it happening. Acura runs deep. We run deep. Looks like we'll have a battle of the line here with this Toyota. But it's just not going to be enough. We're going to come across the line there in 7th. Race 3 here, we're going to get a circuit race, but looks like we're going to be starting all the way at the back of the pack here. This is a really tight circuit, but I'm not quite sure if our car has enough ability in the corner to really do anything here. Our all-wheel drive is going to help us off the line. We are going to get a good run out of that corner. Unfortunately, shunt the little Golf a little bit, but we are going to move all the way up into 3rd here. We're going to get shunted back a little bit on our own. I'm not going to fault him too much there. Prius is going to shoot up into 3rd there, knock us out of a podium slot, and then we're going to get really piss poor turn out of that Golf, and he's going to just use us as our brake. He's going to do the same thing to the Prius, so maybe I can kind of use him in a way to clear out the pack in front of me. Because I think, well, never mind, as he misses a checkpoint and is going to get reset. As we are now onto the podium here with 2 laps to go. And I think we have a decent shot here. We're grippy enough in the corners that I think we can actually hold our own here. We're going to move into our final lap here. We have about a 0.8 second gap. Our gap is getting better here. So we've pulled out to a second. And we're also closing in on the guys up front. I'm going to run a little deep there. But it looks like we're going to be able to hold off the Terreno and come across and get our second podium of this Spin to Podium series. Let's go. Didn't run the fastest lap time, although it was pretty quick. I can't complain. I mean, we're faster than the guy that ended up winning. A little bit slower than the Impala and the Terreno behind me, but faster than pretty much everyone else in the lobby. So it looks like our little bit of balanced building there actually comes in clutch as we do get this podium. And really happy with that. And you can see it there to the left. There is our 1970 Corvette on the podium with our third place. Race 3 is going to give us our second podium of the series, bringing us to 2-1. Hopefully we can keep this momentum going into episode 4. And I'm thinking I might do 2 episodes next week, just see how that works out. So stay tuned for that on Wednesday and then on Saturday as well. But thank you guys so much for watching, and you'll have a great rest of your day.